started. This is going to be the end of my conscious listening residency here, and I just want to give a huge thank you to Boulder Chamber Orchestra for hosting me. Thanks. So tonight's program is called Mixing Timbres because the color of a tone is so important to how we experience it. And with the combination of the clarinet and the piano and the string from three very different families of sound, and how we produce the sound is different, and how we sustain the sound is different. And so we're making a lot of decisions as a group about when to blend and when to contrast. So tonight's program has four very distinct colors and four personalities who decide to blend and combine in different ways. And since conscious listening is all about making connections, and since we make connections as soon as we have the first phrase, and perhaps that's the strongest connection, is your first impression, we're going to do a very, very mini session right now of just step one of the four-step process. So step one is to describe what you hear. And I'm going to just play you the opening themes, and let's see if we can compare and contrast, and you can share with me your ideas about what the personalities of these four pieces are. By the way, if you don't have the program, the four composers are Fauré, one movement from his Opus 120, and then Beethoven, Opus 11, and then Emily Rutherford, who is a local composer here, a contemporary, and after intermission is Brahms. So the first theme that we have in the Fauré, just think about emotions that might come up, or what elements you might hear, what you might describe as the melodic contour, the shape, and this is what it sounds like. Yes?
Melancholy.
Melancholy, that's a wonderful word, yes. It was a very, very late piece, and he died a couple years later. And there was this tiredness in this field. And he had been losing his hearing for 20 years, and yet he could still create such moments of beauty. And so the melancholy is a backdrop, but later on we do get moments of sunshine as well. Okay, and anybody else? Different word? Yes?
I imagine brown and peaking like around trees.
The color brown and the action of peeking around trees. Thank you. Those are so specific, and that's wonderful. Yeah. Okay, one last one. Yes?
Thoughtful or contemplative.
Yes, contemplative, definitely. Thank you. And so some of the physical features that maybe makes us think of that is that the pacing is quite gentle. It's not super fast. It's so that gives us time to contemplate. And the brown, it might be because it's a minor key. If he did not brown anymore. So it will change color because he changes harmonies a lot. One thing I will say is that it meanders quite a bit. It meanders from here to, and then, and a lot of places where he could have gone like 3 different ways. And that makes it feel like it's meandering, and it gives it this very open quality that it could explore in any direction. Now the second one is completely different because this is very, very early Beethoven. Now this is the theme Rutherford. Yes?
Multiple notes at the same time.
Huh? Yes, and actually we will all be playing this in unison. Yep, and so that makes it bigger in size and in volume. Okay, anything else?
Sharp and detached sounds.
Yeah, so detached, we call it articulation, and it gives it a lot more energy when something is popping. It's like popcorn. It's got a lot more heat. Good. Okay, one more.
Headlong, buoyant.
Buoyant, absolutely buoyant. And also, when he goes to the bottom, he doesn't actually reach the bottom. So he doesn't go. He doesn't do that. He does. Where's it gonna go? It's like a ping pong ball. Where is it gonna go? And if you think about Mozart operas, I mean, this is only a few years after Mozart's death. This was written in 1797 and published in 98. Mozart operas come from Italian operas, and that idea of the comic opera, the idea of poking fun and being silly. So the third piece, Rutherford, again, a totally different character. Let's see what you get out of this. Okay, so how is that similar or different? The articulation is similar. It's very, very short notes, right? But the character is very different. Anybody?
It feels like galloping lightning fast.
Yeah, galloping is such a great Western word. And it feels Western to me because it starts on an open fifth. And of course, Copeland, with his many open fifths, kind of codify the American West sound. Also, it's a galloping speed. It's quite fast. So the energy is still the same, but in this case, she stays on the same note in the bass, right? And so it has a kind of a different feel, like you're anticipating something's going to happen, but unlike the Beethoven, which is all over the place in the first measure, this, she's building. She's making us listen, and it's going to go places. Now the Brahms, let's see, where's the Brahms, is going to open like this. Okay. Similarities or differences with the other three? Yes?
Well, it's more like the foray.
It's more like the foray, yeah.
It's, again, contemplative,
Yes.
melancholy. What were the other words?
Yes. Maybe not as meandering. It has a little more focus. It's going to be in a A minor piece. Yeah. And it is also later in life, and there's this, maybe there's a little bleakness, maybe there's a little bit of like an internal sorrow. And so there are similarities. However, Brahms, his dramatic passion will boil, whereas the foray will shimmer. So there's going to be differences in that way. So thank you so much for listening. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you back in a couple minutes.